Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. So, something that seems obvious, but isn't always obvious to us, is that people don't know how you're feeling unless you tell them. And you're like, "Huh, no, there, dude. Obviously, people aren't psychic. They're not actively reading minds. That'd be pretty cool, but also, that'd just be awful too. While there are some people that are more sensitive and empathetic to how others feel, they still can't truly know unless you tell them. And I think this assumption comes from a deep psychological need to have our feelings understood and validated. But how can that happen unless we tell them? That's where being open comes in. Being open means is that you express and share your feelings in a healthy way with others. And it helps so much. Personally, if I had been more open with my feelings when I was younger and understood what it meant, I probably could have saved myself a lot of grief with my mental health issues. And it just helps a lot. It takes a toll off of you that you have from holding in your emotions. It can help you cope well. It'll also help you that you're not alone in feeling that way you do. So, I'm going to share some tips on how you can be open with your feelings. So, when you're starting out to try to be vulnerable, it's not the easiest thing to do. It's something that you just automatically know how to do. So, when you're doing it, make sure to take your time. There's no need to rush it. It's not something that you need to force out. Take your time, be patient with yourself, and let it flow. Let it flow naturally. Because if you don't, you could accidentally stumble on your words, make yourself uncomfortable, and it's just not a good feeling. So remember, take your time. Being open with your emotions may not be natural for you to do. For some people it is, for some people it isn't. And like a skill, what you can do to get better at it is practice. So if you want to express yourself to someone, it's okay to practice what you want to say before that. It's going to make it a lot easier to say it when you want to actually tell the person. It's a lot easier. It's going to be easier for you to communicate, and you can feel more confident in saying it. If you haven't already done it yet, it's really good to take a deep look at the feeling that you want to express. See what it means to you, see what caused that feeling, and you can get a better understanding of it. And when you have a better understanding of that feeling you want to express, it's more clear to their person what that feeling is and what it means to you. And of course, this isn't an easy thing to do, like I mentioned before, so you may make mistakes, and that's okay. There's no need to beat yourself up over it. I do that too. I beat myself up over a lot of things, but it's okay. We all make mistakes. As we keep trying, we get better, and those mistakes help us in the long run. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. It's okay. And lastly, one of the most important things you can do when expressing yourself and being open is to be as honest as possible. It's not easy. It's not. Being vulnerable like that and sharing exactly how you feel with another person is pretty scary. It really is. Just confessing that feeling, getting it out in the open, there's a lot of fears in it. You can feel the fear of judgment, the fear of just a lot of things. It can be scary. That's okay. It's not easy. But you need to be as honest as possible because otherwise, the meaning of that feeling is getting lost. There's little truth segments in there that are lost, and the full feeling isn't understood by that person. So do your best to be as honest as possible. Be as honest as possible. It's going to help you and the other person you're being open with. And if you're watching this video thinking, there's somebody that I want to be open with me. So how can I help them? Here's some tips on how to do that too. So when someone's being open with you, make sure to really listen. Listen to every word they're saying. Listen to every word they're saying. Make sure it's not going in one ear, out the other. Because it makes other people happy to be heard. To have someone listen to you and have those feelings validated by that happening makes it so much easier to be open to. To listen, use your ears. Or if someone's expressing to you and visually through sign language or text or whatever way, really pay attention to what they're saying. I mentioned it before that people can be scared of being judged when they're being open. And so my recommendation obviously is to not be judgmental. I would say to have a neutral demeanor. You don't need to actively be positive, but it's important to not be overly negative. Just listen to what the other person has to say, avoid your judgment, and if you do have something to say in response to that, just be open. You don't need to judge in a negative way like, you feel that way? Are you stupid? That's not helpful. It's not, because it just makes other people It makes the other person's feelings invalid to them. And you're like, okay, well, I'm never sharing my feelings with anyone. Ever. Ever. So avoid a judgment, please. You can have your own thoughts about it, but you don't need to express that judgment and cause a person to feel bad about the way they feel. Like I said, when you shouldn't rush yourself when being open, you shouldn't also rush a person who's being open to you. Be patient. Just take your time. It's not an easy thing to do. I keep saying it's not easy because it's not. So when someone's trying to be open with you and express their feelings, just let them be. They're going to say what they can. And all you can do is just sit there and listen and be helpful. And finally, the last thing that you can do that's super helpful to get someone to open up is to be open yourself. Try expressing your feelings. If you feel comfortable enough, that can lend that comfortableness to another person and they can feel like, yeah, dude, I can talk about my feelings. You're sharing your feelings? I'll share my feelings now. Okay, so those were my tips on how to be open and how to help someone be open as well. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, why don't you subscribe? You can see more videos from me being myself. If that's a good thing. I hope it is. You can give the video a like too. I would appreciate that. That'd be so nice of you to do. And that's all I have for today. I'll see you next time. Bye.